Hi, I'm Annie with ByAnnie.com and Patterns by Annie. In this video, I will share some tips for working with ByAnnie's Premium Clear Vinyl and discuss what makes it the best vinyl for your project. ByAnnie's Premium Clear Vinyl is 54 inches wide and packaged on a roll, making it very manageable and easy to use. It is available in two sizes: a 16 by 54 inch roll, which is perfect for any ByAnnie project, or a 15 yard by 54 inch roll. This is a great size for stores or anyone who uses a lot of vinyl in their projects. Any vinyl will create static, which causes it to stick to any areas of plastic, such as another piece of vinyl, a window on the slide-on table, an extension table, a machine foot, or even a ruler. Here are some tips for using ByAnnie's premium weight vinyl in your projects. ByAnnie's premium weight clear vinyl is packaged with a white paper backing that clings to the vinyl. No more slippery, wrinkly tissue paper to hassle with. To make pieces easier to see, leave the paper backing attached to the vinyl as you cut. Position the piece with the vinyl side up to prevent the ruler from slipping as you cut. You may need to slightly lift the ruler to reposition it as you go. To label the cut vinyl pieces, just slide a printed label between the vinyl and the paper backing. Or use a wonder clip to clip the label to the cut piece. Do not use a pin to attach the label, as it will leave a hole that won't heal. Let's talk next about how to sew with vinyl. We'll talk first about how to prepare the workspace and set up the machine. When you're ready to sew, the paper backing may be easily peeled away and used to prevent the vinyl from sticking to the machine bed. Just position the paper with its shiny side down under the vinyl and to the left of the needle. If you happen to sew through the paper, you can tear it away once you've finished sewing. Or cut a piece large enough to cover the machine bed. Mark and cut out an opening for the feed dogs and foot, then tape the paper cover in place using painter's masking tape, and you're ready to sew. The vinyl will slide easily over the backing paper. Note that paper backing is attached to the entire roll of vinyl, so if the paper cover gets torn or wrinkled, just replace it with a new piece. If you've used all the backing paper, you may also use parchment paper to make a machine bed cover. Painter's masking tape also works well to cover smaller areas of plastic, such as windows on slide-on tables. We recommend using a non-stick foot, such as a Teflon foot, when sewing directly on vinyl. It will glide easily over the vinyl. If you don't have a non-stick foot, a metal foot is the next best choice. If all you have is a plastic foot, you may notice that the foot doesn't want to move over the vinyl. In that case, put some tape on the bottom of the foot and make a hole for the needle to go through. Packing tape or painter's masking tape work well. This will greatly reduce the static between the plastic foot and the vinyl. When sewing on vinyl, we use the same needle that we use for most of our other sewing, a 9014 top stitch needle, and the same thread, Sew Fine number 50. We usually stitch with a stitch length of 2.5. Keep in mind that the needle will make holes that won't heal, so we recommend joining vinyl pieces to a project with a narrow 1/8 inch seam. If you need to remove the stitching, any holes will be hidden in the seam allowance when the project is assembled. Pins inserted into vinyl will also leave holes that won't heal, so we recommend using wonder clips instead of pins to join pieces. If you need to mark lines when working with vinyl, here are some tips. An ultra-fine point Sharpie may be used to mark easy-to-see points in the seam allowance. This is perfect for marking the centers of pieces. If marking division lines on the fabric below a vinyl pocket, keep in mind that the line will be covered by the vinyl and it may be difficult to remove markings. We recommend marking lines with a mechanical pencil using a light touch. Stitching lines over the marked lines should conceal any marks. You may mark lines on top of vinyl using a wet erase marker, such as a fine tip vis-a-vis marker. To remove the lines, wipe them away with a wet cloth. Just be careful not to get the ink on fabric pieces. As you assemble your project, be careful to not touch vinyl with an iron. If the vinyl has any wrinkles, you can toss it in the dryer with a damp cloth for a few minutes. Remove it promptly and flatten it to cool. The vinyl is moisture resistant and can be wiped clean with a cloth. Or your project may be safely machine washed and dried on medium heat. Again, we recommend that you take it out of the dryer promptly and lay it as flat as possible to cool. Keep any leftover vinyl rolled and secure the edges by taping the paper label around the roll, being careful to attach the tape only to the paper label to avoid leaving any residue on the vinyl. By Annie's premium clear vinyl is easy to use and makes strong, sturdy pockets and windows that are easy to see through. We can't wait to see what you make using this vinyl, so be sure to share pictures of your finished projects with us. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube by using @PatternsByAnnie. And be sure to tag us in your posts. You may also submit photos to our photo contest through our website. If you liked this video, please give us some feedback by clicking on the like button below. Thanks so much for watching. Happy stitching!